Does marriage really matter? I mean, if somebody's committed to you, then isn't that good enough? Do you really just need the piece of paper that says you're married? Well, I don't think that marriage is just a piece of paper. And that's what we're going to talk about in this episode of One-Derful Life. Hi, I'm Mary Dittman. I'm an award-winning business professor on the collegiate level and the creator of College on Fleek and One-Derful Life. One-Derful Life is my way of describing how it feels when you've made peace with being single. And I know that there are a lot of women out there who really enjoy being single. I am not one of them. I really struggled for a long time with being single because part of my definition of a fulfilling life is being a wife and a mother. But I'm well over 40. I've never been married and I don't have any children. And being single was a great source of sadness for me for a very long time. But I realized that the singleness did not seem to be changing and I needed to make peace with it. Because no matter what, I just wanted to be happy. And that's what One-Derful Life is about. It's about learning to be happy while you're single, even if you're not happy because you're single. So recently there was an item in the news about a reality TV starlet, and her baby daddy cheated on her with one of her friends. And everybody's just, shocked and outraged that he did this. But it's actually the second time he cheated on her. The first time was when she was pregnant with their child. Now, most women feel that this is absolutely unacceptable and deplorable behavior. But the problem is that he was not committed enough to marry her before she got pregnant, and he didn't marry her when she got pregnant. And so for us to be shocked that he cheated on her is really kind of silly because he wasn't committed to her. And in that situation, what a lot of men will say is, well, we're not married. Well, I'm single. I'm a free agent. I can do what I want. Now, you might be sitting there saying, well, married men cheat too. And that is true. Being married doesn't keep anyone from cheating, but marriage is a sign that a man is committed to you. Now, if you forced him to marry you, or he just sort of settled, he wasn't, because he thought marrying you was better than sitting home by himself, yeah, that might be a different story. But if it was his idea to get married, then at some point he probably felt committed to you. Another reality star had 3 children with her on and off longtime boyfriend, and she was always complaining because he was a partier and a drinker, and she wanted him to step up and be responsible and be a family man, but they weren't married. And then he started dating somebody new, and 6 months later they're engaged, and now he's being a really great dad. But again, he wasn't committed enough to marry her even after they had 3 children together. One of my girlfriends really wants to marry the man that she's with, and they've been together for several years, and one year he gave her a beautiful diamond ring, but he made it clear that it's not an engagement ring and he doesn't want to get married. She keeps hoping he's going to change his mind. Spoiler alert, men don't usually change their minds on these things. And he'll refer to her sometimes as his wife, or he'll tell her, well, in our hearts we're married. Girls, don't fall for that. That is ridiculous. That is him getting all the benefits of marriage, meaning you're completely at his disposal and you're not going to go out and see somebody else and you're going to hang around and wait for him, but yet he's made no commitment towards you at all. And then if he steps out on you, he can legit say, well, we're not married, I'm single. And when other people ask him, hey, are you married? He'll be able to say, no, I'm single. Now, none of this really matters if you just don't ever want to get married, and that's fine too. Another one of my girlfriends has been with her man for 20 years, and she doesn't want to get married, and that's cool. So if marriage isn't something you're interested in, then this stuff probably doesn't matter to you. Maybe you can share this with a friend. And here's the thing, if he's not going to make the marriage commitment, then he ought not to be telling you who your friends should be, what you should wear, where you should go, what you should do, what kind of work you should be involved with, what kind of activities that you should be interested in. If he's not stepping up and making a commitment to be your husband, he should not get a vote in these areas of your life. Now, maybe he's setting a boundary, okay? Because it's perfectly all right if he says, look, I don't want to marry somebody who tosses Chinese throwing stars as a hobby. That's fair. Or, I really don't want to date someone who works in a strip club. Okay, that's a boundary. That's fine. But that's not the same as saying, well, I'll marry you when you lose weight, or I'll marry you when you make me feel like I'm the most important thing, or I'll marry you when I think you're serious about getting married, or I'll marry you if you quit hanging out with all your guy friends. Okay, because that's not commitment, that's control. And I don't want it to sound like I'm saying men don't want to commit, because the truth is men do want to commit. There are men who won't commit, but even those guys, a lot of times when they meet their right woman, they will commit. Look at George Clooney. George Clooney said he was going to be a bachelor, and he had a string of beautiful girlfriends, and he wouldn't even get engaged. And then he met his wife, Amal, and 5-6 months later, he proposed. So it's not that men won't commit, it's that men aren't going to commit to someone that they don't feel is the right one. And if he hasn't committed to you, then don't be upset when he's not acting like he's committed. My brother, when he was younger, would say things like, I'm not really sure if I'm ever going to want to have children. You know, there's just a lot of problems in the world, and I'm not sure I want to bring a baby into this. But when he married his amazing wife, he was so excited to have children, and they have 2 kids, and he is the best dad, and he loves his kids, he loves his wife, he puts her and the kids first, he works hard, he is a family man, and he treats her with love and respect. I mean, he's really a great dad and a great father. And what made him make that switch? Well, it wasn't because he was like 20 when he said that. He was in his 30s when he said, I'm not sure I want to have kids. But he met the right woman, and it was right with her, and that was what made him want to commit to having a family. And listen, men know pretty quickly if they want to marry you or not. Most men will say that they knew inside of 3 months. They might wait a little bit longer than that if they're smart, to give you time to get to know each other. But if a man after a year for sure is saying like, I don't really know, then that usually means you're not the right one and he is settling. Now, I'm not saying that a man who is talking marriage within the first 3 dates is a good idea. Those whirlwind, fast-paced courtships are not a great idea. They're frequently a setup for a disaster. So I'm not talking about someone who is rushing, okay? Men who are rushing into a commitment, frequently it's because there are problems there that they are covering up. But I'm talking about guys will know pretty quickly if they're going to commit to you, but a smart man will kind of play his cards close to his vest, and he'll wait 6 to 12 months, get to know you, and then he'll let you know that his plans include marriage. And here's the thing, men don't lie about those things. If a man tells you, I really don't think I'm ever going to want to get married, then you need to believe him. And I feel really bad for the reality TV starlet. She's a beautiful girl, and I know that she wants a family and she wants love in her life. And I really feel bad for her because now she's a single mother, and that's hard. See, part of a wonderful life is coming from a place of feeling peaceful and contented. And it's hard to feel peaceful when you're with a man who isn't going to commit to you. But it also means that you're willing to wait for a man who is willing to commit. And you won't settle for someone who just wants all the benefits of marriage without the responsibility of that commitment. Now, our starlet is recovering from a broken heart. And if you are, you might want to check out our ABCs of Healing. If you go to bit.ly/ABCs of Healing, you can get that. It's a free little video and a cheat sheet to go along with it, and I'll send it right to you. And you might want to check out wonderfullife.com Every Friday we post a new blog. We have lots of great stuff there for you. And I want to know what you think. Do you think commitment matters? Put your answer in the comments because we would love to hear from you. One-Derful Life is a dialogue, not a monologue. And make sure you join us next week right here on One-Derful Life.